What is the heaviest object you've ever been able to move before? Does that mean levitating?
Yes, in a way, yes. Let me put it this way. Let's go into the science of it real quick. It is that real life that is full of miracles, full of cities, full of joy and love and caring. It's here in the moment. But most of the time, your average person is living in the past, thinking. So what do? They want to get away from it. They see life as being hell.
Does Grandmaster Wolf have goals in life? Is like healing your back like a lot harder than like like a cut or something like that?
No, it's all the same thing.
Welcome everybody. So obviously, guys, really no introduction necessary whatsoever. I am talking to none other than the legend himself, Grandmaster Wolf today. Super honored to have him today. Man, there's probably a handful of new people that don't know who this man is. So I'm just going to tell you who he is very briefly. He is a powerful mystic, powerful telekinetic, spiritual teacher. And really, guys, we were talking just briefly before this call. I mean, he's just a super awesome nice man. Recently I've been having issues with like employment and stuff, and like that's the first thing Grandmaster Wolf brought up. And so that just goes to show just his character and his heart, and just he's not just a powerful mystic, he's also a very kind-hearted, caring man. And and I really truly didn't know that about that side of him. And so just seeing that like firsthand and experiencing that was just so awesome. So I just want to say I'm just so honored to have Grandmaster Wolf today and get to hear some stories. With that being said, though, Grandmaster Wolf, I mean, you obviously have done multiple podcasts, multiple interviews in the past. I don't know, like I hope that some of the the people that I've interviewed in the past have probably asked you the same redundant questions, have asked some pretty generic questions before. So hopefully this time my channel is pretty much like a very dedicated underground, like superpower telekinetic type of audience. So like I'm almost certain 95% of my audience knows who you are. So I'm hoping today to ask questions that nobody has asked before. So I want to get straight into it at Grandmaster Wolf. Let's first talk about telekinesis, because that's what you're obviously known for. That's what I'm obviously known for. What is the heaviest object you've ever been able to move before?
My own body. Probably. It's like
levitation?
I'm sorry?
Does that mean levitating?
I'm going to be very careful not to back myself into a corner. Yes, in a way, yes. Let me put it this way. Let's go into the science of it real quick. Science of it, mystical science of it. Imagine if you had a, I don't know, a device, and you just stick that device on your motor car, and the motor car is now anti-gravitational. Your car will just boink, float. When there's anti-gravity, there's no weight. So in those, and this, you do bring anti-gravity into it when levitation is involved in anything. So there is no weight. It's a wrong question. I don't mean that derogatively. It's just a wrong question. It's like saying, how hard is air? It's not hard at all. It's a wrong question. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So levitation, you're doing it right now. You're every time you do this, you're levitating dead meat, and the path, if you want to get stuck on these things, the path is to go in there, go through certain rituals and practices that allows you to levitate something, and that's the hard way. Let me back up, I'll simplify it. If you close your eyes and turn off your brain for a few moments and just be pure awareness and watch, and then follow the process from your intention to move your arm to the actual arm moving, if you follow that whole process, not through knowledge, not going, well, the brain sends an electrical impulse and that will make your muscle contract. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you have an invisible intention to move your arm. That intent has to go into your brain. Your brain is the one with telekinetic powers. It's not spiritual. Your brain will then turn your intent into appropriate picture form, which will be its own language, which will be, he wants me to lift this. That's the ego that would say that. And then your body has to create electrical impulses. Where's it going to do that? How does that happen? Have you ever watched your brain create electrical impulses? So you'll see your intent being turned into a thought. You'll see that thought creating electrical impulses. Those electrical impulses will then travel down the appropriate pathway, which is also control, because an electrical impulse can go anywhere in the body, but you want it to go into your shoulder muscles so that they will lift your arm up. So then you will watch that whole process and eventually you get lift. Once you realize that, you see how you telekinetically move yourself. Another way of looking at it is to lay down on your bed, close your eyes, get rid of all of your thoughts, and in your brain's own language, which is visualization, you feel or you visualize your arm lifting off the bed, but do not tense the muscles. Not one muscle should be tense. It should all be like jelly. And keep doing it, keep imagining, and eventually when you open your eyes, your arm will be up here somewhere. You won't have felt it move, but it'll be there. And then watch how that happened. You have to go inwards. Reading books won't do anything for you, really. If your problems are between your ears, then you are the closest person to that problem, and therefore you are the first responder, and therefore you can fix that problem. But if you go to a book, you're asking someone else's advice on something they know nothing about, which is you. Everything you need to know about everything is between your ears already. The fact that you're alive means that all of the mysteries of life and creation is already in you. Otherwise, you'd be dust, wouldn't you? So why go looking elsewhere? Every great mystic throughout history will tell you, go inwards, watch. Not one of them will give you a book.
That is certainly true. Yeah, that is certainly true, because every book talks about going inwards. So they don't say like, hey, here's a book that tells you to go read another book. So yeah, that's very, very true. So thank you for saying that. So it sounds like maybe you're not particularly a fan of like a certain book like the Tao Te Ching or some Tibetan books and stuff like that. But speaking of Tibet, I mean, I know that you've correct me if I'm wrong, you lived in Tibet, am I correct on that?
28 years.
28 years, yeah, that's a long time. What is the most profound experience you've had in Tibet as far as paranormal events are concerned?
Oh, without a doubt, the death practice. You return with the deepest and most profound experiences, mystical experiences, are what comes from my death practices. I'm not going to tell anyone how to do it unless I'm there, because I'll get blamed for a lot of dead people. But yeah, I can tell you how I did it, but in very vaguely, and I'm pretty sure you already have heard it several times. But that's the most profound in many ways. One of the not so deep, profound things you learn from it straight away is it's not much different from astraling out of your own body. It's not much different from remote viewing. It's death is a funny thing. People need to get their head around it. Only two things are going to happen at the end of your life. You're going to lay on your deathbed and you are either going to think to yourself, well, I milked the guts out of that life. I did everything I wanted to do and more. And I'm really excited about this dead stuff. And I want to go and figure out what this is like. Very exciting. Nice to see you all. Bye-bye. Hopefully we'll catch up in another life. And that's one way you'll die. The other way will be, oh my God, I'm terrified. I'm scared. I'm confused. I don't know what happened. I've wasted my life. I was a prick half of my life. You don't want to die like that. So what is it that you're going to need to do right now in your life to make the ability for you to just lay on your deathbed with excitement and joy and contentment? What do you have to do in your life for that to occur for you personally? That's what you ask yourself in the beginning. And then you'll start looking at 1,000 different techniques that don't go anywhere in the direction that you really want to actually go in life, if that makes sense. For instance, if you're looking for a free mind, free spirit, and a free heart, and that's all that matters to you, don't go to a religion. Simple as that. You can't follow something and be free at the same time. Make your mind up. What is it you want to do? A free spirit, to follow a thought, to follow a system, to follow a belief totally and absolutely negates freedom of mind and spirit because you're following something. Follow me and I'll show you freedom.
Gotcha. Grandmaster Wolf, with that being said, speaking of Tibet, there's concepts such as the rainbow body in Taoism. There's concepts like immortality or the diamond body. The goal in these traditions is to essentially not have to come back, not have to reincarnate.
Why?
I'm sorry?
Why? Why wouldn't you want to reincarnate? What's wrong with life?
I'm surprised to hear that from you. Could you elaborate on that?
There's this wonderful, fantastic, miraculous thing that's as big as a universe, and it's full of miracles, and it's full of mystery, and it's full of mind, and you are part thereof, and you have access to all of those things. And because of one belief that's told everyone that death is not a good thing, everyone doesn't want to come back. Why? Most people go, oh, because it's horrible, it's hell. No, it's not. That's your response to life. That's not life. Life is beautiful. It's calm. It's collective. It's peaceful. It's passive. And it's just loving. Every time you arrive in the moment and get out of your thought process, you'll feel it immediately. Don't you? When you meditate and you stop thinking for a few moments, don't you feel fantastic straight away? Of course you do. Why? Because you left the past and you've arrived in the moment. The moment's beautiful. Everyone meditates and they come into the moment and go, oh, this is so beautiful. I don't want to come back here. I just want to do this all the time. You're here when you've done that, and yet you want to get away from it. People don't understand that when you come into the moment, everything feels great. Everything is calm. Your mind calms down. Your heart calms down. Your body immediately starts to heal, and you just feel good. Stress goes, bang, anxiety, it's gone. It's beautiful. That's the magic and the peace of the moment. The moment feels like that all the time. It's got nothing to do with your meditation. Meditation won't do that to you. Breathing won't do that. Taoism won't do that. Qigong won't do that. What they do is bring you to the moment. That's their job. Every teaching in the world that actually works, every school of teaching that actually does produce enlightened people that you can go and touch and experience, all their techniques is just to bring you into the moment, because that's what the moment feels like. This is the human condition, my friend.
Interesting.
Give me a second. Hang on. I haven't finished.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, go ahead.
That's all right. I'm trying to put Tibetan words into English, and sometimes I slow down when I'm doing that. So this is what happens. When you meditate, when you focus on something that's happening now, you have to be in the moment, in the now, to focus on it, i.e. your breathing, your body, your heartbeat, a candle flame, something that's happening right now. The moment you do that, you feel fantastic, your body starts healing. When you go back into your thoughts, and your thoughts can't follow you into the moment because they're not real, they're just memories and stuff. It's got nothing to do with anything. So when your body is sitting here in the moment, not connected to the past, not connected to an assumed future, it immediately begins to heal. Now, your body is in the moment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for its whole life. And if you would just leave it alone, it would be happy, healthy, all the time, disease-free, loving, caring, all the time. But you won't stay in the moment with your body. You will go into the past and bring up guilt and fears and stress and anxiety. You're bringing all of that out from the past, infecting your body that's happily trying to just be in the moment and be healed constantly. So what do? You meditate. What does that mean? You focus on something in the moment. What does that mean? That brings your mind and your focus into the moment, which means you've left the past, you've left your karma, you've left your thoughts, you've left your beliefs and your anxieties and your stress, and you've come to be with your body for a moment. Starts healing straight away. That's it. So all you have to do is find one that works for you, something that brings you into the moment. So all of these techniques are taxis. They're buses. They will bring you into the moment. That's what they're for. And the moment will do the rest for you, because the moment is all that's happening. The moment is all that's real. And the moment is that real life that is full of miracles, full of cities, full of joy and love and caring. It's here in the moment. But most of the time, your average person is living in the past, thinking. So what do? They want to get away from it. They see life as being hell, and it isn't. It's the way you're responding to it that's hell. You can have, this is the whole Buddha thing, you can have leprosy, but if you don't care, if you have no fear of death, so what? Leprosy is just something you're aware of. Don't worry about it. I'm dealing with a broken back right now. I did it about 8 or 10 weeks ago. I broke my back. It hurts like hell because I have a rib poking in one of my lungs right now. I'll fix that in a day or so. I don't have time at the moment. And it hurts. But this is the question. It hurts. Okay, so does that bother you? Well, God, yeah, it does bother me. Why does it bother you? Because it's uncomfortable. So what's wrong with uncomfortable? Why is being uncomfortable any different to feeling the warmth of a fireplace? It's just another sensation, but you're putting labels on it. And your body will respond and react to the label as being a bad thing. You see what I'm trying to say? It's
absolutely.
If you get a worry comes up, no, let's not use that one. Just something that bothers you, something that really bothers you. You look at why it's bothering you. Let's say there's someone over there and they're bothering you. I would say, why is that person bothering you? Oh, because they're loud. Okay, why does that bother you? Because I'm trying to think and I don't like loud noises. So you're going to blame them because you don't like loud noises. We do this with everything. When people realize by watching their own thoughts, you will see something will happen in the world. Your brain will see it. Your brain will put a negative attachment to what you've just seen. Your body will react to that negativity, in which case your heartbeat will go up, your stomach will clench, you'll feel not very good about it. This is all happening inside you. But what's the first thing your average person will do? They'll blame the government for their life not being good. They'll blame their parents for not looking after them properly. They'll blame the neighbor for being too noisy. They'll blame this and they'll blame that. And all you're doing is blaming the world for the way you're responding to it. You don't have to respond nasty. You don't have to hate. You don't have to get angry. I've had people say to me, if you don't get angry, how can you go out there and stop murderers and child molesters and things like that? You have to be angry to do something about that, and that's ridiculous. Policemen and judges and people like that deal with these things all day, every day, and they don't do it out of anger. They do it out of a sense of justice. They do it out of a sense of what needs to be done, what is right. They don't need to get angry to stop you. They stop you because you're wrong. You're doing the wrong thing. You're hurting people. I don't know how I got onto that, my friend. I'm just babbling on now. Let's get to the next question.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Grandmaster Wolf, you are an exceptional healer as well. You obviously, showed yourself, healing your palm a long time ago, by, poking it with a knife.
Oh, wow. I forgot about that. Gosh, that was a long time ago. Sorry, go on.
Oh, so you mentioned that, you're gonna get to healing your back. You said tomorrow or something like that. So like, is healing like your back or something, is that like just easy for you? Like, it's just like, I got something else going on, so I'm just gonna put it aside. But when the time comes, I'm just gonna do it, even though it just bothers me. Like, is that kind of how it is for you? Or
Yeah.
or are certain things easier than others? Like, could you explain how that works?
The healing or the attitude? I'm not quite sure. Can you?
So you obviously were able to heal cuts really fast a long time ago. You demonstrated on that, demonstrated that, and shared that video with everybody. You mentioned that you injured yourself recently. But you're saying that you still haven't quite healed that yet, but you said you're gonna get to that tomorrow or something like that. What I am asking is like, is like healing your back like a lot harder than like like a cut or something like that?
No, it's all the same thing. It's all right. Let me go back a long way. Many years ago, I healed someone before I was 100% knowledgeable on how to deal with the repercussions of healing someone the way I was taught. So I took a pretty nasty form of cancer out of a lady, and I brought it into myself. She was healed pretty much overnight, and then I ended up with lung cancer in both my lungs. So I decided to take a bit of time off and see what can be done with this, purely out of interest. So I laid down in bed for 40 days and 40 nights, and I went to the toilet, of course, but during that time, and just before I go on, the language of the brain is picture form. If I ask you what color is your car, you don't see the words "my car is black." Your brain will show you your car. There it is. That's its color. And then you will add another label to that and call it black. So your brain speaks in picture form. So this is how you heal yourself. So for me, I had this inside my lungs. I would lay in bed. I would close my eyes, center myself, put my body to sleep, keep my brain awake. Once I'd done that, it was then a matter of visualizing myself. I would walk down my throat, down a little staircase. About here, I have a little room, and inside that room, I have a hard hat and chisels and hammers and high-pressure hoses and a tool belt, and I would put that on. Then I would walk down into my lung, and I would start chipping away at all the black bits and all the nasty stuff, and then at the end of it, I would hose it all down until it was beautiful and pink and clean, and you could see the air coming in and out of the capillaries. Then I go into the other lung and do the same thing. I did that for 40 days and 40 nights, and the lung cancer went away completely, and it's never ever come back. That was almost 30 years ago, give or take. That's how I do it. And that was a slow way, but I didn't really know if it was going to work at that point. It was a long time ago. But now I've honed it down, and it's no different to doing that with your finger. You just find the part that's separated, and you just talk your the new cells that are being generated, regenerated. You just get them to hold hands again. It's how you see it. So if all your cells are in a monkey grip and you're wounded, a great pressure comes this way and they release, and now you've got a gap in there. You talk them into reaching out to each other and doing that again. And that's what happens. And the more you live in the moment, the faster it happens, because you're just supporting the miracle of the moment. The miracle of the moment alone will heal you. If you can just get out of the past and move away from your karma and just sit in the moment long enough, you'll get younger, you'll heal. All of these silly techniques from all over the world that people have all are invented by a brain. The universe invented the brain a very, very short time ago. It might not even keep the brain around as a good idea. So the universe made the brain didn't make the universe. The brain is a very dubious device at best. And that's why it's best to step out of it. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. No one in this world thinks about what they do while they're doing it. When you're driving your car, you're not thinking about the clutch and the accelerator and the shift. You're talking to a friend probably. Why? Because you know how to drive. If you know how to drive, you don't have to think about it. You know how to poo. You don't have to think about it. You know how to have sex. You don't have to think about that. You know how to eat. You know how to digest. Everything you do throughout your day, including your work, you do while thinking about something else. So why do you bother thinking? Because that just fucks you up. Excuse me for my language, but I'm known for that too, unfortunately.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. So you're talking about cities. Cities are telekinetic, psychic abilities, things like that. They have nothing to do with spirituality. They have nothing to do with mind. They have everything to do with brain. It's something your brain can do, and it's done it since the day you were born, and it comes from, the actual power comes from primal survival energies that we have. At the very basis of human DNA is the program to forage and to hoard. That's what we do. It's at the bottom of our programming. In the beginning, we foraged in the forest and hoarded in our cave, for all the obvious reasons. Today, we forage on the internet and we hoard it in our brains, because we're told that the more data you hoard, the more intelligent you are, which is totally unintelligent in itself. So this is my point. If you want I'll finish what I was about to say. When you go inwards and start to retrace your way back to deep states of mind, as you're going through your brain, you will go through little neighborhoods of your brain that is responsible for being able to telekinetically do things, and you will experience them. Now, here's the crux of the matter. There's two kinds of people. If you can bend spoons or let me put it this way. When you arrive at these cities, you can bend spoons, or you can heal people of their misery. You can pull people who have been in absolute hell and misery for 20 years. You can pull them out of it in less than 2 minutes. I can, and most people should be able to if you know what you're doing. So, what would you like me to teach you? I want to bend spoons. Okay, you've got the mind of a cockroach, because I just offered you the ability to pull people out of hell and end their misery in a few moments, and you want to bend spoons instead. I don't want to know you. Unfortunately, my teacher used to call those people cockroach heads. So yeah, look, I'm going to start offending people, and I don't want to. Okay. So the cities, telekinetic stuff, it's of the brain. If you are training correctly and you are learning to navigate through your brain, which is what every system should be doing for you. You will come across the cities, but if you get caught up on them, it's the end of your spiritual path, and you'll be forever known as someone that can bend spoons. Whoopie-doo. Personally, the joy of life for me is seeing someone's miserable face come online, and in 10 minutes they're smiling, they're laughing, they're happy, they're joy, and they've got hope back, and they've got plans now for their future. I have goosebumps just telling you that. There's nothing like it. It's just the kiss of love. I love it.
Yeah, and I just want to say something real quick, Grandmaster. I think that's why you're so respected, and that's why I think so many people love you, because you're not about power. You're not about, like showing off and saying, "Hey, look how cool I am. Look, I'm this powerful Grandmaster." You're very wise. You're always share wisdom, and I really truly believe that a true sage, a true mystic, is that type of person, and that is something that you absolutely embody. So I think that's why so many people resonate with you, and so many people, as I said, just truly respect you in this field. So Grandmaster Wolf, so obviously superpowers and stuff and CDs, they're cool, but they're obviously not important. That's not what it's about. It's about, like you said, living in the moment. I will have a question for you in regards to living in the moment. There's also a concept called detachment. Do you think they're the same thing? A lot of spiritual texts, a lot of sacred texts talk about the importance of detachment. Um, Detachment is, you can kind of, I guess, correlate that to meditation, because when you're meditating, you're kind of detaching yourself from thinking. So would you say detachment equals living in the moment? Because like that's kind of similar in a way, or are they two different things? What can you
No,
elaborate?
you just said it correctly. Detachment will bring you into the moment, makes it easier. If you want to run out and catch a bus, but someone's holding you back, you're going to miss your bus because you're attached to someone. You might not be the one doing the grasping. They might be grasping you, but you're still attached. Until that person lets you go, you can't get on the bus. The moment has the miracles and the peace of mind that you're looking for, and most people are looking for, which is unfortunate because they get usurped on that. Doesn't matter. There's predators out there, even in the mystical realms. So someone calls you a nasty name, and you offend yourself because they've called you a nasty name. Let me give you an example. I don't like talking about it. It's easy just to show people stuff. There's so many people online just talk about this, and they can do that, and this guy does this, but anyone can talk bullshit. It's best for me. I prefer to show you if I can. Detachment. Let me think of something for you. All right. Think of someone or something that really upset you recently. Don't tell me. I don't want to know who or what it was. Can you think of something?
For me personally?
Yeah, you personally. Something
Well,
that just
the biggest thing that upset me recently was obviously,
don't say it. Just yes, there is, or no, there isn't. So yes, you've got something in your mind that upsets you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you hear that dog in the background? No? You just detach from that thought. You just detach from that thought that was upsetting you. Why? Because I asked you to think for something that might be going on in the moment. There is no dog out there. I just lied. My point is this. I got you to think of something that was upsetting you. You had attached yourself to a thought that was making you ill. It was upsetting you. The first glimpses of illness is upset, discontentment, and that did that to you. Very quickly, before you could immerse yourself too deeply in that, I just said, can you hear that dog? I'm asking you to bring your mind into the moment to hear something that might actually be going on. You detached from the other one to get to this one. You detached from your thought to come into the moment. That's detachment. You have to detach to come to the moment. You have to detach from your past. Otherwise, you're still responding to it. People have no idea to the depths of what detachment means. The very language that you're using right now to talk to me is somebody else's invention. Every thought you have is someone else's invention. Every word we have is made up. You have to detach from all of that because it has nothing to do with reality. Belief is wrought in this world today, and belief is the complete opposite of fact. So what does your average person do? I want to learn absolute truth, so I'm going to follow this belief. What? A belief is the complete opposite of reality. A belief is a fantasy. That's in the dictionary. So if you want to succeed on a path to reality and truth, you have to get rid of belief. Don't use that stuff. That's not going to work for you. You have to get rid of attachment. You have to get away from fear, your name. You have to stop identifying with your thoughts as being you. When you're watching your thoughts, you're not another thought watching the rest of the thoughts. They're dead. Thoughts don't see anything. They don't even know you're in there looking at them. But you're allowing them to control every second of your life. You allow them to control how you feel, how you think, how you live, how you love and how you hate. They're doing all of that. What would you be if we took every thought out of your head and you are in there realizing that there's not a single thought going on? What are you at that point? Who are you in there doing that? You're not Ken. That's just a thought. And that's not yours unless you've changed your name legally. You didn't come up with that name. You didn't come up with the language you're using. You see, it's all someone else's stuff. So how, when you are living someone else's life, someone else's education that was put in you, someone else's language was put in you, someone else's beliefs was put in you, and in all of that, you're looking for me, you're looking for self, you're looking for I. How are you going to discern which one is you? The question is, what am I in here trying to discern that? That's the question.
Absolutely. Well said, Grandmaster Wolf. A thought came to me just now. I mentioned earlier about like the immortality practice, or the not incarnating practice, the enlightenment type of thing. I asked you earlier, like, Grandmaster Wolf, I said something along the lines of, like, are you going to basically reincarnate? A thought just came to me. Maybe the fact that you're not caught up in the worry of whether I should reincarnate or not, the fact that you're completely detached from that concept maybe allows you to, quote unquote, become enlightened, or allows you to, attain that, rainbow body or diamond body or whatever you want to call it, because you're not attached to it. You're living in the moment. You're not like obsessing over like, I'm going to meditate for like 1,000 and, I'm going to meditate 100,000 more hours in my lifetime to achieve that. You're saying like, no, I'm going to just detach. I'm going to clear my mind. I'm going to live in the moment. And, since I'm detached from that concept, it's, yeah, I mean, whether it happens or not, doesn't matter. And maybe that's why maybe because you're embodying that philosophy and that mindset is why you can, do the things that you can do. That's why you're so wise. And yeah, that's maybe I'm realizing that I'm speaking to you. That's what's happening. And that's what I'm learning.
You've got it, Ken. You've got it, buddy. That's it.
Wow. Sorry, go ahead.
You are full of life. Life made you. Life is full of wisdom. Life created the universe. The universe is alive, and the life that is in that universe is in you as well. You have absolute access to it. You're already enlightened in there. You're just too busy looking at your bloody thoughts. You're not seeing it. How many people in the world do you think realize that their body is living in a moment that is full of miraculous healing and love, and yet they will still just spend most of their day in their heads, wanting, worrying, hating, bickering, dramaing? We have a world full of addicts, serious addicts, and they are addicted to their drama. They are addicted to their thoughts. They're addicted to their selves. They're addicted to their egos. And when you're addicted to your ego, you follow it wherever it goes. And it likes to go into worlds of heroin and crack cocaine and prostitution. And I'm not saying they're good or bad things, but if you want enlightenment, that's not the way to get it. You've got to decide what it is you want to do with your life and choose the correct tool, and you will get there very quickly. But if you're just bouncing between fools that are trying to sell, I didn't want to go down this road. There are some very dangerously disturbed false gurus, in particular on the Taoist side of things in this world. And they are dangerously deluded, and they are teaching stuff to people that's going to kill people. There's one in particular, but I'm not going to mention his name. Preys on women a lot, puts himself out there as a Taoist priest, and I've lived in Taoist monasteries for a long time, and he has never been there. Let's get on to something else. Living in the moment.
We could talk about that after the recording. Yeah, we can definitely talk about. Let's change the subject.
Where are you going, Ken?
So we talked about telekinesis, and there's another popular superpower, if you want to call it that, remote viewing. Grandmaster Wolf, do you have any remote viewing experiences?
Yes.
Or or some people use lately, it's becoming very popular with the blindfold. People put blindfolds on, they can see through their blindfolds.
Oh yeah, seeing without eyes. Yeah, I've done that with I went to the people who actually brought it to Germany.
Miss Evelyn and them, I'm assuming.
I forgot their names. I'm so sorry.
No
it's
worries.
a German family. But I was in Croatia at the time working with some people, and these people came to Croatia and visited me and gave me the the blindfold, and told me how they did it and showed me, and lo and behold, it worked. It actually works. But I don't do it that way. For me to do seeing without eyes is just a matter of bringing your third eye out of your skull, close these eyes, you move your awareness forward a few centimeters, and then you can see again. But you're using the same sight that you use to watch your thoughts with. You can't see your thoughts with these eyes. It's not possible. They would have to turn backwards to see it, and then they wouldn't see it because it's pitch black in there. So when you're visualizing, when you're looking at pictures in your head and watching your thoughts and visualizing your car or whatever it is you're visualizing, that's in absolute pitch blackness. So you have to ask yourself, how am I seeing that? It's pitch black in there. I've got a skull full of fat, and yet I'm seeing pictures. Where the hell is that coming from? What am I using to see that? That's your third eye. These eyes can only see things that light bounces off. It has to bounce and reflect into your eye, and then you can see it. If sunlight could go through what you're looking at, i.e. a tree, you wouldn't see the tree. It would be invisible to you. You need the reflection. So there's no light inside your head. So you have the ability to see things you have a sight that can see things in pitch black. And that means that it doesn't rely on sunlight. That means it can see things that these eyes will never ever see. So when you expand your mind and you do come out from the skull slightly, you start to see things in the outside world that no one else can see. You can see things that doesn't reflect sunlight, because you're using a tool that life gave you to do that in the first place. So it's just a matter of not learning this, not learning that. Take what life gave you and turn it up to its full volume. Don't just use your inner sight. They call it your third eye, but it's not an eye. Use your inner sight and develop it just like a bodybuilder would develop his muscles. You build it up and build it up by exercising it, and suddenly it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and now you become one of those people in the ancient paintings that you see with the halo, saints and, you know, enlightened people. That's just representing that their mind has come beyond their skull. They are now more than a human being, average human being. So that's one thing. You know, you all of these things that people are being ripped off and conned into this teaching and that teaching to learn this and that. And if you were to ask the teacher to show you some of these things, most of them won't, most of them can't. But my point is, all of these things that you want to learn, telekinesis, remote viewing, astral journeying, you already have those abilities, obviously. You're not going to get them from someone else. Identify them in yourself and then start to build them up. If you want a bigger bicep, do exercises with a weight and your bicep will get bigger and stronger, and then you can lift things that you couldn't lift before. You can do things you couldn't do before. You have more strength and you look better. And in the same way, if you use your mind, it will get stronger. If you practice your focus, that will get stronger. If you practice your ability to move in and out of the mind, so the skull, you'll get better at that. It's about training your mind. You've been given the tool, use it. Now, this is the downside. Everyone knows that to reach enlightenment and to discover all of these miraculous things that the human being can do, that spirit can do, that mind can do. Where was I getting at with that? Give me a second here. Everyone knows, if you very quickly look throughout history, everyone knows that if you want to attain these things, develop these things, use these things, you have to have a very, very good mind. It has to be strong and sharp and clear, and you have to learn how to control it. Okay, that's obvious. Everyone knows that. If someone doesn't believe that, they shouldn't be here. Now, what is this generation doing? Up until throughout history, up until my generation, everyone knew that. Train the brain, train the brain. If you're going to use a drug to get to a certain mind space, use the drug. Pay particular attention as to how it navigated you to a certain brain space. Let's say we're talking about psilocybin here. Detaches you from your thoughts, takes you to a trance state, and takes you away from your thoughts. The next time, don't take the substance and re-navigate back to that place without the substance. That takes focus. It takes great internal observation. That's how it worked up until my generation, because we didn't have devices. This generation won't have the mind anymore, because this generation, instead of doing mathematics, they use a device to do mathematics for them. It's called a calculator. They can't spell anymore. The computer spells for you, corrects your spelling. You see what I'm getting at? People have replaced all of these attributes of the mind with a device. So the mind is getting lazier and lazier and lazier and less skillful and less skillful and less skillful. And people in this generation still thinks that that mind is going to take them beyond human capabilities. No, you're already atrophying. It's already dying.
Grandmaster Wolf, you brought up a good point. Do you think that back in the day, there's many theories, you know, about ancient times, when you look into conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but do you think because of the advent of technology that exists out there, very advanced right now, AI is emerging and stuff like that, do you think that because that we have so much accessibility to technology, is that we're like the people in our contemporary age are very spiritually not, you know, like open, so to speak, like, you know, our third eye's not open, our dantians are blocked? Like, do you think that has a big that plays a big part in all this, in your opinion? And obviously, air is polluted, and like we're not really eating like organic foods anymore and stuff, or maybe perhaps eating too much. Do you think all this stuff kind of,
Absolutely.
is a cause of us being so spiritually blocked, in your opinion?
One of them, absolutely. That's one of them. The other one is we are a lazy race. And the other one is, I'm not going to say religion, which I just did, but the other one is a huge percent of the population of the earth has been educated to rely on a bigger entity that's running the show, a bigger entity that's ruling everything, a god that we all have to grovel and bow down to. So when you have 500,000 generations brought up on, it's not our life, we have to do what someone's invisible friend tells us to do that we're never ever going to see, you grow up with the mentality of relying on something else to do something for you. Anything that is good in our lives, we give the credit to some invisible friend, a god or something to that. And when anything bad happens, it was us. You see what I mean? And it's just, there's nothing more insane, there's nothing more ridiculous than that. So anyway, my point is this: at the end of the day, we are educated now and predisposed to think that we have to rely on something bigger and better than ourselves. We don't have any confidence in ourselves. That was knocked out of us through education. So for hundreds of years, we've been relying on this big dude up there to, make things right and think for us. And when we do have a good idea, we thank the invisible friend instead of realizing it's our own abilities. That has now come down to a point where we rely on anything now. We rely on mobile phones to, people are asking their mobile phones what color they should paint their bedroom walls. People are asking their mobile phones what colored jeans they should wear today. That's not going to go anywhere good. If you can't make your mind up yourself what color you want your walls, you can't make up your mind as to what you want to wear today, you're asking your mobile phone, you're asking your AI friend, which is going to replace do I want to say it? Beliefs. I'll put it there. So devices are replacing beliefs. So now we've been educated to rely on gods. We've been educated to rely on devices to do this for us and to do that and to make our decisions for us. It's not good, but it will change. Life isn't stupid. We are. And that's the other thing. If people truly think we are the children of God, you're going to grow up thinking you can't put a foot wrong. If you grow up realizing, seeing, watching that we have the propensity to be the worst damn species of animal on this planet, we're cruel, we're nasty, we're self-centered, we're egotistical, we're greedy, we're gluttonous, but we have the ability to be better than that. We have the ability to rise above all of that. We have the power to be an amazing, incredible, miraculous, spiritual healing entity. We have that ability, but no one's doing it right now, generally speaking. Generally speaking. I don't know why I went down that rabbit hole, but let's move on, shall we?
Yes, certainly. Grandmaster Wolf, I want to ask you something. I am a podcaster and like a practitioner of this stuff. I'm nowhere near as good as you, obviously, when it comes to this stuff. But like, I'm I practice with a psi wheel and things like that. I'm sure you put up demos of that as well. But the for me personally, I'm always in a position where people are challenging me. Hey, is this stuff real? Are your guests real and stuff like that? And do you have any personal advice on like how I should be not affected by that too much? Because, you know, I don't know about you, but like I often, you know, get stressed or I feel annoyed. I get all these negative emotions when people start asking those types of questions. And I don't know if you've experienced that as well, because obviously you demonstrated some CDs on YouTube. How do you deal with the naysayers from it, you know, from your enlightened mind? Like, you know, you're a very wise person. You've lived far longer than I have. Like, do you have any advice for me personally?
I don't have any interest or faith in my own thoughts because I don't use my thoughts to live my life. My life is very nice and very peaceful. So I certainly don't care what other people think. I don't give a shit about what other people think because they're wrong and it doesn't matter. I also feel sorry for a lot of them. These so-called haters and trolls, they come out and they try to debunk this and debunk that out of nowhere. In my world and with my colleagues and the scientists that I work with and what have you, and all the other real mystics that I know of, that we actually have a name for them, that they are called rabids. Not rabbits, rabids, like a rabid dog, a dog with rabies. We call them that because there's only one other creature in the world that will just come out of nowhere and attack someone out of the blue that they've never met before. The only other creature that does that is a dog with rabies, a rabid dog. He'll see a stranger walking up the road and that dog will fly across the road and start biting and cutting this person for no reason. And that's what these people online do. They'll just search the line. They'll find someone that's done something that either they can't get their head around or what, I don't know what their reasoning is. It's rabies. And they'll just come out and attack a kid. They'll attack me. They'll attack you. They'll attack anyone that just happens to be in front of them that day. That's rabies. And you have to feel sorry for those people because if they were a dog, we would have shot them in the head. They're also cowards because none of these people would dare come up into your lounge room and talk to you the way they talk to people in the comment sections. They don't have the balls to do that. So they're cowards. So you got these mindless cowards in the world who are living a life of a rabid dog. Why would I care what a creature like that thinks? It's disgusting.
Yeah. Well said, Grandmaster Wolf. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you in my audience. I mean, like I read comments and like, you know, the negative comments I get affected by a lot, and that stems from probably like you know, I hate the word trauma because I feel like that's such a victim-minded word, and like, you know, using that word, I mean, like it's not like I went to war and saw like, you know, people so like I hate to use that word, but because because of my negative programming, perhaps from, you know, my, you know, early childhood, you know, like, you know, I think I'm sensitive, and I hate it when people, you know, are extremely critical on myself or others or my work and stuff, and so I get affected by that, and it's something that I'm still working on. But with that being said, though, you know, like you said, why care at the end of the day? They're just people that I know for a fact I'll never ever meet in real life, A, and B, you know, really, like, I mean, like, yeah, why would I care? It's like you said, their rabies, like, I do feel bad for them. They're probably suffering themselves, so they have to like always just, you know, attack people. And
I can tell you now, they can't get a partner to stay with them for more than a few weeks. They're lonely people. They don't have many friends. I mean, would you want people like that as your friends? People that are just going to attack you and be horrible every time you say something? Of course not. So they don't have many friends. Their family probably doesn't like them. Their mother might. They're certainly not going to get a permanent girlfriend or boyfriend. You know, it's forget them. Everyone else does. But
Yeah.
there's better ways. Don't think that about these people. See, now that you've talked about it, emotions have come up in you. You don't feel as nice as you felt 5 minutes ago, do you? Because you've just brought this negativity up. It's a good time for me to show you something.
Okay.
Take stock of how you're feeling right now. You just folded your arms, so that can tell you something about yourself. Take stock of how you're feeling right now. Okay. Press your big toe, your left big toe against the ground, but don't move the other toes. Don't move your foot. Just lightly press one toe without moving the other toes. Put your whole mind into that. Just for a second. Now release your toe, your pressure. Take stock of yourself. How do you feel right now? Hard to say, isn't it? Your mind has stopped. Your brain stopped. You left that horrible feeling. You left the thoughts that were creating that feeling. You came into the moment to push your toe into the ground. And now you feel better. Don't give the credit to the toe. Don't give the credit to the exercise. I just made that up on the spot.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, really, what was that, like a minute?
I told you an hour ago, my friend, all I did then was brought you into the moment. You detached from your thoughts that were making you feel unhappy, and now you feel good again. It's that simple. And do you want to pay someone $15,000 for a week's course to do that to you?
Grandmaster Wolf, you really are an incredibly wise person, and I'm yeah, I really don't know what to say. I mean, like, just that little thing you just did demonstrated just goes to show just how, wise you are. And I don't even want to use the word powerful, because like I think it's just wisdom. Your wisdom is just incredible, and I mean,
It's observation, Ken.
I'm sorry?
It's pure observation. It's I wouldn't even call it wisdom.
Mm.
When you stop searching for beliefs that might be true, when you stop searching for things outside of yourself, when you stop looking for authorities to tell you how to be and how you should do this and do that, when you just start living and being and following your own bliss and being in the moment, living your life through the moment, you will see everything that nobody else sees. We've covered a few things today. Watch what we just did then. I asked you to think of something that you don't like, something that annoys you. You brought up a thought, and then all the annoying feelings accompanied that thought. You have to have an angry thought to have an angry feeling. It doesn't work the other way around. You have to have a sad thought to feel sad. You have to have a happy thought to feel happy. And if you're not controlling that, you don't have a very good life. So I asked you to think of something. You felt unhappy. You felt discontented. I did that to you. Well, I told you to do that, and you did it. And you felt horrible, because I know that that's what happens. That's just observation. I know that when you have a bad thought, you will feel bad. Everybody knows that. But they'll go and buy a book and have someone else tell them. So then what happened? I took you away from that thought, and you felt better. I just did it to you twice. So why can't you do that? That doesn't take skill. That just takes observation. It's not wisdom.
Well said. We've been going on for about an hour. Your secretary told me that we can only go for about an hour, so I think we'll wrap this interview up now. Grandmaster, one last question I want to ask you. I feel like I already know the answer, because you talked about living in the moment, and you emphasized that so much throughout this interview. But with that being said, does Grandmaster Wolf have goals in life?
No.
Wow.
It's not about me. It's about life. All I have to do is stay alive and be healthy, happy, and strong enough that life can have a pretty good experience of itself through me. It's not about me. I don't. I wake up in the morning and I just do shit. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do after I finish talking to you. I'll wake up and see what happens. My bowels might be the first thing that talks to me. Who knows? And my bladder might be the first thing. But I never know what life is going to put in front of me. I just do stuff. I don't have a phone.
You don't have like a regimented schedule, like you get up in the morning, you meditate, before bed you meditate, you do kung fu, or like you don't have any of those?
No. Sometime every day I'll spend an hour and a half stretching on the floor and putting bones back into place and organs, and I use what's called Qi packing to massage and internal organs with the muscles. How can I put this? There's a technique I use where you control your inner muscles, and you can massage a kidney with your internal muscles and squish all the gunk out of it and heal it. You can do that to all of your organs. So I will do that, but I don't know when that'll happen. That might be 10 in the morning. It might be 1 in the morning. It might be 9 o'clock at night. I don't know, but I just know that that's something you need to do to keep your body well. I'll also go to the gymnasium 4 days a week, but I don't know when and I don't know what time. So sometimes I'll go at 4 a.m. in the morning, which is good because there's nobody else there at that time. So I just live. I'm in my 7th decade now in this body, but in saying that, I just finished. There's an exercise that I do every 5 or 10 years, and when this body, I hammer the shit out of this body, believe me. It's been in wars, it's been broken and killed and all sorts of stuff. So every 5 or 10 years, when the body starts to get wrinkled and baggy and the wrinkles come on and the black eyes start to come and my bones are aching, I'll go and do a regeneration. And that brings another 5 or 10 years back into my life, and you get younger, you feel good. I looked like crap a month ago, but I've just recently done this thing. And it's a regeneration. It adds 5 to 10 years to your life every time you do it. And it requires certain visuals. It requires certain formulas that I've learned over the years. It requires certain exercises. But if you do it for 5 days straight, your skin will come back, your eyesight comes back, your body comes back, your heart comes back. You just feel like you're 30 years old again. I teach that as well, by the way. I think that's a good thing for people to know.
Excellent.
What did you ask me?
Oh, oh, sorry. I forget too, as I'm soaking in all your wisdom. I sometimes like, what did I ask? You know, that happens.
We should do this again, Ken.
I mean, I'm sure my audience will go crazy if you came on again. So
I'd love to. Yeah, I'll show you some stuff as well when we're not recording, and you can tell me whether or not you want to put that up.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, cool. Okay, okay, so yeah, so I guess we'll wrap this interview up for now. So okay, so you know, I will put Grandmaster Wolf's website and his YouTube channel in the description, so definitely check it out. Thank you so much for coming on today, Grandmaster Wolf. Your simplicity, your simplistic message, and your wisdom, like, that really hit me hard, and I think really hit my audience as well. You know, we get too caught up sometimes in techniques, and we get too caught up in like trying to find like masters and stuff like that, and sometimes we have to just go back to like the you know, the most simplest way to do things, and we have to remind ourselves that we can do these things in a much more simplified way. So, okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Grandmaster Wolf.
Absolutely. My pleasure, Ken. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to doing this again.
Awesome.
Good to talk to. Doing a good job, buddy.